Did you know that in Hawaii, you can buy a house, but not actually own the land it sits on? Hi, I am Jill Ward with Century 21 Island Homes, and welcome to another episode of Aloha Oahu, where we talk about everything in terms of lifestyle, as well as real estate on the island of Oahu. If you're thinking about buying property on Oahu, there are going to be some things that might be new to you. One of the unique aspects is learning about a concept that is more common in several states, including Florida, New York, and Hawaii. So let's talk about the difference between leaseholds and fee simple properties here in Hawaii. I get calls from clients sometimes, and they're very excited about the deal they just saw on the internet. When I hear the word deal, I already know they likely came across a leasehold property. To start, in a leasehold property, you own the structure attached to the land, but you don't own the land itself. So when you're looking on the internet and you're looking at property types, you want to see LH or FS. LH signifies leasehold. So when you see an LH or leasehold on a listing, it often results in a lower price point for the area. So you have to know that with this type of a property, you do not have ownership or full control of that property. When you buy a leasehold, a lease can be for 10, 20, or 40 more years. At the end of that term, there are two options. First, a new lease can be negotiated at the end of that term. You may have to pay additional money to renew that lease. But if a new lease is not offered, or you cannot come to any kind of an agreement, that land reverts back to the person or the business that owns the leasehold. And they usually keep whatever improvements were made to the land, and that could mean your house. On the other hand, you can own a property in fee simple, where you own both the property as well as the land underneath it. When you buy and sell a fee simple property, any structures and the land are included in the purchase. Let me give you a really basic example. There is a building in town called the Executive Center. You can buy a condo in the Executive Center for as little as $60,000, but you will only own it in leasehold. In this particular building, you can also find condos you can buy in fee simple for $350,000. The leasehold owners in this building actually have the option to buy the fee. So you can have buildings that are all leasehold, all fee simple, or some that are mixed. Just make sure you know which ones you are considering. As we discussed, the primary attraction to buy leasehold real estate is usually that it has a much lower price. However, if you're going to apply for a loan, depending on the length of the lease that's remaining, you may not be able to find financing for that property. For example, if the lease has less than 30 years remaining, you will not be eligible for a traditional 30-year mortgage. But don't worry, we will work with your lender if you decide to purchase a leasehold property. If you are looking for your primary home, you may want to focus on fee simple properties. But if you're an investor, leasehold might be an option for you. There is some inherent uncertainty when you own a leasehold, and you don't have the ability to have full control over your property. However, at this point, the vast majority of properties on Oahu are fee simple properties. With fee simple, you have many more options and less uncertainty. I hope this video gave you some idea of the differences between leasehold and fee simple properties in Hawaii and why it matters. If you should have any additional questions about the island of Oahu or real estate, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask. And don't forget to subscribe below for more information on living on the island of Oahu. And check out some of our other videos or visit my website at jillward808.com. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Jill Ward with Century 21 Island Homes. Aloha.